Hey friends, so this video is going to be quite different, challenging for me to record, challenging to share. I'm going to tell you about how I overate last night. I've been pretty honest. I always try to be so honest that I still mess up all the time. I talk about that. I'm at my goal weight. I've lost 120 some pounds, but I still overeat. And I tend to be a little more vulnerable about that, like in my Faithful Finish Lines smaller group and like in the weight loss challenges in those groups. But it's different to put it out there for God and all the world to see on YouTube. I know God already knows. But this is it's tough. It's one thing to post like me doing pretty meal plans and showing you my food prep. That's easy. To be honest and stand up and say I totally overate cereal and chocolate last night, that's hard. But I also know that we need to be real. Satan wants us to keep things hidden, and God talks about bringing things out into the light. So I'm going to share with you, and tell me in the comments. I hope this is helpful for you. How do you feel hearing somebody who has supposedly, quote unquote, arrived, talking about, I haven't arrived. I'm still in the thick of it. I'm still working on it. Tell me if this is helpful and if I should keep it up, because should share it. I also want to share with you about some things I've been processing through in therapy and some realizations that I've had just really recently, even though I'm 20 years into this and been maintaining my weight for years, but I'm still working on it. So last night, I'd had a good day, a great day with my family, great weekend day, good food day. And then like right before bed, I overate cereal, I overate chocolate, I overate nuts, and I ended up over my calories for the day by about 600. And I have a really specific process I follow when I mess up, when I overeat. As part of our Faithful Finish Lines, we do a process we teach our women called Trading Guilt for Grace. I've kind of simplified that for some of my weight loss challenges and stuff, and I use a process called BACK, B-A-C-K, which stands for B, go back and track what you actually ate. A, which is ask, what did I learn? C, which is compassion, and K, which is keep calories the same. And as I'm recording this video, we're in the middle of a spring weight loss challenge, a live challenge with a group, and I'm posting my food logs every day. And so I went back and I had posted my food log already because I thought I was going to go to bed for the night. I went back and posted the real thing. So I went back, and I gotta tell you, it's so hard to be honest with ourselves because there's so much denial and we put so much morality on this. And in the past, I used to shame myself. I don't shame myself anymore. I treat myself with compassion and grace, just the way God treats me. But those lingering thoughts are still there. Those temptations are still there. So after I was done eating, I went back and tracked what I honestly ate. And I gotta tell you, I had to go back and fix it like 3 different times. And then this morning, I actually had to add something else that I realized I hadn't even tracked. That's how strong the denial is. It's so strong. And this is nothing like what I used to do. I mean, I have so much victory in this area, so much progress that I couldn't have even told you what I ate. I mean, I went into a zone when I was binging. I didn't even know, so last night I tracked, I had 2 servings of cereal, and then I had to go back and track. No, Sarah, you really had 3. Oh, and I had some Ready Whip that my son was eating too. See, it's so tempting to want to not tell the whole truth. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I went back and tracked what I actually ate. I went into the group, I kept the original, and then underneath it, I posted what I actually ate. And then this morning I had journaling time and I asked, what did I learn? And I did learn things. I had actually kind of under-eaten a little bit during the day. I was following what I had planned the night before. I typically pre-track and then I follow my plan, but I was hungry and I should have eaten more food because I was hungry. And I kind of kept trying to put that off. Like, I'm not really hungry, or I can wait a little bit longer. I can wait till the next meal, but my body needed food. And so I was going into the night with that. And then rather than eating healthy food when the time came, I gave in to junk food. And in the past, that would have been the whole bag or box of cereal. It would have been the whole package of chocolate. And I still had those temptations, especially like with the chocolate. I ate 2 pieces of chocolate, which is really a win and progress, because in the past I would have eaten like, whatever amount I had in the house until I felt physically sick, until I almost like couldn't like physically eat anymore. And I have a bar of Ghirardelli chocolate in the freezer. I kept thinking about that bar. And what stopped me is recognizing from past experience, how sick it makes me feel, and like that I didn't want to feel that. That was part of what stopped me. And and the battling back and forth of like, a part of me wants to do this and a part of me wants to do that. I actually have coming up a self-sabotage workshop that I'm going to be leading, and then I'm going to make it available later. And don't you get it? That's so much part of self-sabotage. Like, a part of me wants this and a part of me wants that. And when we have what we feel like is those conflicting parts. So part of what I wanted to tell you with all of this, I went back and tracked as honestly as I possibly could, and then I had to adjust my serving sizes several times. It's so hard to be honest with ourselves about how much we're actually eating. And some of our foods are so calorie dense that it's really hard to own up to how many calories are in those foods. So I'm back in therapy right now and working on some of these different things. And a few sessions ago, I had said to my therapist, I think my metabolism is slower than other people. I do think my body's like always trying to push me to this set point. I've recorded a video about my hunger. And he accepted that. He kind of wrote that down, like, oh, that is something really hard. You have lost like 120 pounds. And, we both, just kind of accepted that and went on. And then later in the session, I said something about, well, I'll like measure out nuts. And then while I'm measuring it out, I'll eat like a handful or 2. And he's like, wait a minute. Let's go back to this. How much you'll eat? Like, let's say you eat 2 handfuls. Well, how big of a handful? Well, how many times a week are you doing this? And I mean, he really pinned me down and made me get honest with this. And the truth is, like, what we think is like a handful of nuts is no big deal, but nuts are so calorie dense. I came to realize I was sometimes eating like 400 or 500 calories of nuts and not really even thinking much about it and not tracking it. And then when we started thinking about how many times a week I was doing this, even if I was only doing that twice a week, that could potentially be 1,000 extra calories. You divide that out by 7 days in the week, that means I got to slash a couple hundred calories, which again might not sound like much, but that adds up. And that's just going on the low side of what I was doing. And my therapist started getting really excited. He's like, that's really good news. That means there's nothing wrong with your metabolism. It's just these extra nuts that you're eating and who knows other foods you're doing. And you're just not counting it right. And he was all excited. I was not excited. I was not happy about this because that means I'm in denial and I'm not being honest about how much I'm eating. He's like, but this is good, Sarah. That means there's nothing wrong with your body. There's nothing wrong with your metabolism. And I was like, no, it's not good. That means I'm in denial. And then I got to deal with that. And like, am I actually doing this to myself? I hate thinking that I'm actually doing this to myself. So that was really hard. And I spent several weeks just processing that and being honest with it. And if you are someone who says, like, I think there's something wrong with my metabolism, I could almost guarantee you. And, if you've got something going on medically, please talk to your doctor. But most of us, there's nothing wrong with our body and there's nothing wrong with our metabolism. It's that we're in denial about how much we're honestly eating. I mean, friends, I'm 20 years into this. I'm at my goal weight. I'm maintaining, and I'm still struggling with this. I have a website where I talk about weight loss. You would think I would, this is where my thoughts go. Like, you would think I would have it together, and I'm still in denial. I'm still struggling at times with being honest with how much I'm actually eating. So, can you relate to any of this? Are there times that maybe you're not being honest about how much you're eating? Something I've started asking people all the time, if they say they're struggling or they're at a plateau, I'm like, don't tell me about when you're tracking. Tell me about when you're not tracking, because that's when the danger is happening. And it's taken me this many years to be honest about how much I'm overeating. I can't even tell you in the past. And this was after I lost 100 pounds, but I was still binging. We're talking thousands and thousands of calories that I was overeating and kind of going into a zone and going in denial about. So this is where I'm at. This is not the type of video that I'm going to wrap up with a pretty bow where I have all the answers. I don't have all the answers. What I can tell you is that I'm still here with you. I'm working on it with you. If you could relate to anything that I shared, would you please tell me in the comments? That would help me to know that I'm not alone. I'm not the only one. This feels extremely vulnerable right now, very hard. I'm hoping I have the courage to share it. If I share it, I'm hoping I have the courage to keep it up. But I hope that you know in all of this that you're not alone. I'm Sarah with the Holy Mess. Thanks for watching.